Coming up, Jeremiah Fears got all eyes on him as he's going to New Orleans. We'll discuss coming up next on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Oklahoma Sooners guard Jeremiah Fears landed with the New Orleans Pelicans, being selected number 7 overall in the 2025 NBA draft.
Kind of feel, it's the second Sooner to get drafted in the first round by the New Orleans Pelicans in their iteration of existing as New Orleans Pelicans. Buddy Hield was also drafted by the Pelicans back in the day. So it's kind of interesting to see that they have a thing for Oklahoma players, or they just like to stick to guys in the regional area. But I digress. I do like him going there. They just traded CJ McConnell out. Jordan Poole is coming in, and so it's going to be an interesting dynamic, but they're going to need somebody to be a good playmaker and someone to really be a floor general for their roster. And so I kind of like that he ended up with the Pelicans. He's not going to be too far away. We'll see him in Oklahoma City at least twice. So it'd be good to be able to root for the Sooner in that capacity. So I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it could have been better, but I do think that it's a good landing spot for him overall.
Yeah, I think going to a place where he's not going to be necessarily required to be the primary scorer, it's huge. And I don't know why this ad is going off. I'm looking at New Orleans depth chart, and anyway, Jordan Poole, he's going to be one of your primary guard scorers. Jeremiah Fears can handle the ball. He can distribute the basketball. He's a really good distributor, and he can just focus on what he does best as he continues to develop his outside shot. If you get a healthy Zion Williamson with Jordan Poole at guard, and you got Jeremiah Fears running the point, New Orleans could be on their way to being a playoff team and being somebody that can be a threat to some teams, not necessarily a contender, but they're going to have a chance to make some noise with Jeremiah Fears because he's one of those guys that's unafraid to attack the rim. And with a good pick and roll game, if they, again, have a healthy Zion Williamson, that's going to be trouble for other teams.
Yeah, all he's got to do really too is turn up his defensive prowess out there. He's basically going to be replacing Dejounte Murray, who tore his Achilles about 5 months ago. And so he's gone until next season, probably midway through next season. He may not even play at all this coming season at all. So he'll have an opportunity to get a lot of play, him with Trey Murphy, as well as Jose Alvarado. So he'll be able to have the opportunity to, like I said, make some plays with him and Jordan Poole. Curious to see how that works out with Zion as well. But I think that he did land into a spot where he'll have opportunity to truly compete, and especially for opportunity to actually play.
Yeah, and it's a little bit lower than what you saw some of the projections. A lot of places had it going maybe to Utah as high as number 5 at times, but still, it's a great honor for Jeremiah Fears, who was a big, big reason why Oklahoma was able to make to the NCAA tournament this year, and why there's a little bit more positive buzz and momentum about the Oklahoma Sooners moving forward in the Porter Moser era. He really flipped the narrative about Oklahoma basketball. He really did. And it got everybody buying in a little bit more. And that's what it's going to take, is just a little bit more buy-in from everybody. And you got Trae Young coming back and being a part of this program. So things are on the up and up. Had they not made the tournament, had Jeremiah Fears not reclassified and come to Oklahoma this last year, who knows where the program would be. It could very well be looking for or had to look for a new coach this offseason. There might not be as much investment or buy-in from alumni or the fan base. But because of what Jeremiah Fears did in his one season in Norman, along with the rest of the team, I don't want to sell them short, but he was certainly the catalyst for a resurgent Oklahoma season. Remember, they went 16-0 in non-conference. They had big-time wins that helped propel them into the NCAA tournament. Got big wins in the SEC tournament. So Jeremiah Fears, man, shout out to you. Go and prosper.
Exactly. And give it to Porter Moser. This is his first player that's been drafted since he's been here at Oklahoma. And, you know, this is something that he needs. This is a feather in his cap to be able to have those conversations with players as they're recruiting to say, hey, I got a kid that reclassified who's technically young, and I got him drafted in the top 10 in the NBA draft. Now, you thought he was potentially going to go top 5. Like you said, Utah, top 5, number 5 pick. They ended up taking Ace Bailey instead. And it's okay. I think that the good thing about going to the Pelicans is because they're revamping their backcourt and Dejounte Murray is out for a while, we'll get to see some early minutes from Jeremiah Fears. And so because of that, now we'll be able to see, because he's considered the best ball handler in the draft by a lot of draft analysts. And truth be told, he probably is. Mm-hmm. I think it was Stephen A. Smith that said he compares him to the next little Kyrie Irving. I don't see that part yet, but I do think he has a playmaking ability similar to Kyrie. And I think that he can refine his game and get close to that. But the big thing with him, he doesn't shoot the three that well, but he also doesn't shoot a whole bunch of them. Mm-hmm. He needs to get stronger. He needs to get better defensively. Like I said, if he can get like a Dejounte Murray where he's a playmaker while also being strong on defense, which, of course, again, he's young. He's 18. He's going to put on some weight and some more strength. That he could make a good path for himself to stick around in the NBA because he'd be able to guard other points and be able to really be in their face and even guard guys that are bigger than him, right? You got to be able to be versatile in that capacity, and I think that Fears has an opportunity for that. He just got to get stronger, and the good thing is he's only 18, so he'll have a good 3 years to get to that point.
And he's got the work ethic to do it. You know, that's the part that I think if you're a Pelicans fan that you have to be the most excited about is you're getting a kid that's ready for the grind. Like, he hasn't really taken any time off since the season ended. He went and started getting ready for the NBA draft and getting ready for the NBA and going to workouts, trying to develop his three-point game, getting stronger in the weight room. He's already got good speed. So if you're excited about maybe getting up and down the floor a little bit more, running some more transition, Jeremiah Fears is going to open things up for you to run a little bit more. And he's going to take some stuff coast to coast, and that's going to be really exciting. And I think the Pelicans got a good one. Again, he'll continue to develop some things. He's going to have to, because the NBA game is very much a perimeter game. If you're a guard, you got to be able to deliver and contribute from the perimeter, but he's going to break down defenses a lot. And that's going to be fun to watch. And that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Sooners. Thanks so much for tuning in, being a part of the show. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, over on YouTube. You can follow me at John9Williams. You can read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. Sorry, I glitched a little bit. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer
Sooner. Maybe Jeremiah Fears gets traded. See if we can get him to Oklahoma City. That'd be awesome.